We bought sports cars from an auction for less than the price of winter wheels on a brand new Porsche 911.
And today we're going to take them on a 500-mile winter road trip to see if they're up to the test or not.
So this is the car I bought. It is a Nissan 350Z that I paid just £3,200 for. First thing we did is we serviced it, new filters, new oil, all the usual stuff you should do when you buy a car. But also I had to cut this hole here to get air to this airbox. And that is because we think this car has been in a crash. Because not only is this bonnet a slightly different colour to the rest of the car, the bumper is orange underneath. So had to cut this hole, and that gave me some extra power. So after that was done and the service, I had the car remapped at Horseman Development, and this car now makes over 290 horsepower. But my favourite mod of all of those is my exhaust. That is a Scorpion catback exhaust that I spent all my budget on, but this sounds so much better. It used to have a back box delete that sounded awful, but on this road trip, that exhaust is really going to save my ears. Next thing I had to do was some new tyres. This car had 3 different brands of tyre, and this one was completely flat, so I got some new Accelera tyres. And finally, the thing I did is I replaced this driver's seat because the electronics didn't work, and I had a huge hole in this bolster, so I got this seat for 50 quid, and now everything works as it should.
And for the price of those same Porsche wheels, I bought an entire Porsche Boxster. This cost me £3,500, and it's the proper full-fat 3.2S. Now, my car was a pretty good car, so I focused most of my budget on aesthetic mods. I started with these, some replica split-rim Porsche wheels, topped with some Accelera 651 tyres, and then behind it, we've got brand new Bilstein struts and H&R lowering springs. Very nice. And after giving the car a proper clean, I topped it all off with a Carrera GT inspired gear knob and short shifter.
We left early that morning for our much anticipated road trip, and this was the first time either of us had driven our cars since we modified them.
So how have my upgrades changed this car? Well, from where I'm sitting, not really that much. I went for more of an aesthetic upgrade on my car, but that's the beauty of it. You might not be that happy about the fact that I put replica wheels on it and some lowering springs, but that's what I would do. If you had the same budget, maybe you'd do it differently, but that's the beauty of modifying cars.
This is my first time driving this car with everything fitted and everything fixed, and it is so much better now. I would barely be able to hear you right now if the old exhaust was fitted because it was so boomy and horrible at these speeds. Whereas now, I'm in 6th gear, just under 70 miles an hour, and I am cruising. Now, we are on our way to the side of the country that I've actually never travelled to. Never been this far over west, so this will be interesting. We could have gone into Europe, but we got a whole country to explore ourselves. And of course, Edwin has got the roof down. As per usual, it is probably 3 or 4 degrees right now.
It's a convertible, so therefore the roof has to be down. Let's get to our first stop, and this one's a cool one.
What a lovely grey day. Little bit of golf. Cannot wait for 18 holes out in my sports car.
Well, what are you doing? There's a skid pad here. We are at Thruxton's skid pad because they said, do you want to come over and learn some car control for the day? They have got a purpose-built skid pad for you to bring your own car. You can bring your personal car here and just learn how to do skids and learn how to control your car in different environments. And so that's what we're here doing today. So I'm up first in the Porsche.
Before we go any further with the sports car road trip, this is a quick reminder that if you're buying a used car, you should always run a car vertical check.
That's right, because every single day, hundreds of cars get crashed and some of them get put back on the road in an attempt to hide their dodgy history. But with a car vertical report, you can find out that shady past.
All you have to do is enter your reg number or your VIN, and a car vertical report will tell you if that car has been crashed, stolen, or clocked.
Now behind me is not one of our sports cars. This is my new daily, which you'll see more of soon. And before I went to buy it, I did run a car vertical report, and luckily for me, it came back with green ticks for odometer, finance, and damage.
Now, this Honda Accord hasn't been so lucky. We've got a bunch of yellow warnings here, including damage. That is not even a car anymore. That is just a cut up piece of chassis. You are unlikely to see this exact car back on the road. That takes far too much work to put that on the road. It's probably impossible. However, someone may use the VIN from this car on a stolen car and try to export it or import it to another country and try to hide this shady past. but with a car vertical report, you can find out all of this history.
So anytime that you're buying a car, van, motorbike, a couple of cheap sports cars or an old Mercedes, make sure that you're on a car vertical report to make sure that the price you pay for it matches its history.
And as an added bonus, for Black Friday, Car Vertical are offering you guys 30% off when you use code BF using our link down in the description below. It's just going to do some warm-ups. Edwin's never done a skid before, I don't think, right? You've never seen him do a skid?
No.
So this is his first time, right? Yeah, so let's see how he does.
Hello. Oh wow, that is interesting. That was just zero grip there.
This is Edwin's idea of heaven.
Oh yeah, it's just a slippery piece of tarmac. We've been searching for this, and then Thruxton have come up just trumps with, yeah, we got one of those. Oh God. It looks very slippery there.
No, no, it's got nothing. Oh, this feels embarrassing. I unfortunately do not have a limited slip differential. It's a little bit harder, it's a 360.
I've seen Edwin spin a few times. At least this time it's in a legal environment.
I cannot tell you how frustrating this is. All I care about in this world is doing skids, and I can't do it.
Ben just said, do you think Edwin feels humbled?
Oh, I'm so annoyed. Why did I not spend my money on an LSD? Right, your turn. No! That was one of the most frustrating things in the world. It's also incredibly fun. But here's the thing. I'm annoyed because I like drifting and I couldn't do it. Will's going to be annoyed because he's incredibly competitive. And when he can't do something, he gets really annoyed.
Ah! Very slippery here.
There we go. Look at this. Yes! If you ever wanted to know the difference between an open diff and a limited slip diff, it helps you do that.
It's awfully slippery. I'm going to try second gear. Yeah, no, second gear ever so slightly too much. It's awfully slippery out here.
I'd like to see a left-right slalom up here, please.
Let's have a look, shall we?
Here we go.
Ah!
Oh!
Ah!
Here we go. He's got it.
No!
Did you hear him go, no?
I don't have much grip at all.
To determine which car was really better for drifting, we needed to hand them both over to an unbiased third party. So we drafted in our videographer, Ben, to let him decide which was best. But there was a slight issue with that.
This is his experience. It's none on the road. Okay. Never even owned a rear-wheel drive car.
Yeah.
And he said the games he's driven on is just with a controller and it's like Need for Speed and stuff. Also, never seen Tokyo Drift, so he doesn't actually know how to drift. There we go, we're going straight on.
Oh my God!
Here we go, Ben.
Here we go. No, that's tarmac.
That's okay, though.
Oh,
That was Ben's first skid.
I'm skidding! I'm doing a skid!
Look at that wheel. Yes, Ben. Look at him go.
Oh, and this is where I spin.
Sounded like he was at about 13,000 RPM doing that.
That was great fun. I fear I've ruined Will's car.
Look at him. Oh, this the box that suits him.
That's Ben.
Here we go. Porsche doing skids. This thing does not skid as easily.
Turn the traction off.
Traction control's on, I've just been told.
I did think, I was like, wow, it's very reserved. You can tell he's got the traction off now because he spun. Oh, he's getting angry. He's getting angry.
No!
The 350 or the Boxster?
For this, the 350.
That's a win.
Ooh, it's a dub for the 350.
But how much do you want this now?
I really want this car.
You're not allowed to enter the competition.
I know. Do you know what I can do though?
I mean, there you go.
Unfortunately, all of the messing around on the skid pad seemed to have taken its toll on Will's 350.
You have broken my car, Ben. It is definitely misfiring.
It's a good way to start a road trip, isn't it?
Thanks, Ben, mate.
Yeah, Ben.
Cheers for that.
Ben, crazy,
No worries.
mate. You broke his car.
You broke the most reliable car on earth.
We checked everything that could potentially be causing the misfire, but there wasn't anything obviously wrong.
This is not the car that was meant to break down.
No. In our very scripted video that this is, the Porsche was supposed to break down, and what was it, like 100 miles away?
We're only on scene 3, and in scene 5 is when this breaks down, yeah.
We can't let them know. very, very upsetting, I will admit to you.
So, to investigate further, we tore down as much as we could from the top of the engine, and in doing so, we made a discovery.
We did find that what I can assume is part of the PCV or part of the secondary air pump was disconnected.
After reassembling everything, we went for a startup, praying that it wasn't the end of the road for my 350 before the trip had even begun. I've done unplugging and reconnecting. We are so back, boys. Do you know what? It could have been the pipe.
Let's say it's the pipe.
It's the pipe that was off.
Also, if it breaks now, it'll be under your watch, so I didn't break it.
But you started it.
Road trip saved. Back on we go. A genuine massive thank you to Thruxton for inviting us down. They said we could use the skid pad for free. So if you guys want to do an experience yourself where you can bring your own car, if you want to break your 350 like Will did, they have the skid pad, they have track day experiences. You can go in Alpines, Mustangs, there's an M2 there, off-road course, the go-kart track's cool. Click the link in the description to check out Thruxton, book yourself an experience.
Thruxton have a load of offers available in the lead up to Christmas, which make perfect holiday gifts. And the team were nice enough to give us a code TDC to use, which will get any of you watching a free extra on any Thruxton driving experience you book, like free photos, free videos, or even free cancellation cover.
So after Ben broke my car, he broke my damn car.
We broke it.
Ben broke my car. I heard him rev it to 18,000 RPM. My engine light from my misfire has just stayed, but I don't have a misfire, so I'm not going to check the engine. But I have got ABS and stability lights on, which I have tested and can confirm I have no ABS. That's really nice.
We are heading to the lovely seaside village of Weston-super-Mare.
It's the middle of November. Let's go to the beach. We're in sports cars. Sports car and supercar owners, they go abroad, they go to the south of France. So we are going to Weston-super-Mare.
I absolutely love the English seaside. A beautiful grey expanse of rocks and sharp pebbles.
I'm quite looking forward to it. Ben has told me that Weston-super-Mare is one of Britain's top 10 beaches.
We headed off to relax at one of Britain's best kept secrets, Weston-super-Mare, where we were greeted by a breathtaking coastal town.
Well, this is certainly Weston-super-Mare. They've got bowling, there's a police station.
Beautiful day for it as well.
Let's find somewhere to stop and we'll go and do see.
Oh, also car park. You know what that means? Noise. It still sounds so good.
With the cars parked, we headed out to explore this iconic seaside town. This is going to be, you know, you get the heat wave on holiday.
Coming out the big airplane. Whoa.
Whoa.
You know, it's so hot that it's humid.
I don't know, it's so hot. I'm just going to put my hood up. Right, I need an ice cream.
We're on holiday.
Ben, I asked you, because this is your end of the world, what's the best beach over here? And you said, I will go to Weston-super-Mare.
There's a beach near me.
What a beautiful day for the beach.
The sea's miles away, Ben. I came to the seaside and the seaside's over there.
God, what a lovely day to hate life.
You know, if I was a dog, this would be great. I think once you go past that bit, it gets busier.
All beaches everywhere in the world are shit. This is one of the good ones.
Beach explored, Will went in search of an ice cream.
Do you have any ice creams by any chance? None at all. Okay, I'll have a think, thank you. She looked at me like I just asked for a diced elephant. That's how bullshit it is to get an ice cream here. No one else asks.
Oh well, beautiful day for it.
So with no ice cream in sight, we checked out the rest of the town's attractions.
Even Winnie the Pooh can't handle Weston-super-Mare.
That's legit around his neck. And after we'd had some fun, very blurry,
This is great fun.
we got back on the road towards our next stop, feeling positive about our experience. Didn't get an ice cream, I lost on the arcade, and I'm overall quite miserable actually.
Clearly, we are here in the wrong time of year. It's quite a lot nicer in summer.
Edwin, did you really enjoy the beach?
My day is uplifted. Now that I've caught some rays, I'm ready to carry on. Our stop at the arcade was actually quite key because do you still have some of that change left over?
I have got £4.
That is very good. Keep that £4 with you. We will need that at our next stop, which is quite cool. I don't think many people will have heard of it before.
So with the sun setting on this rainy seaside town, we pushed ahead deep into the countryside towards our next stop. And before long, we made it there.
Just up here, you might see it says the word private toll road for light vehicles only ahead. But there's a twist. This toll road gets used for rallies and racing.
It doesn't feel like they'd have an actual toll booth here. It feels like it'd be a goblin handing out tickets or something. When we arrived at the toll gate, it was closed, but thankfully an old school solution presented itself.
If the toll keeper is absent, put the money through the door slot and close the gate.
There's a door just there.
Please place the money through the door slot.
You are paid.
You may enter.
Have a good one.
What if I don't pay?
The goblin underneath the toll bridge will know.
Fees paid, we got on the toll road.
Now, for reference, the only toll roads I have ever experienced in this country have been massive motorways. Loads of toll booths, it's all electronic. I have never come to a toll booth and had to pay £2 through a wooden door.
Oh God, I don't like it. It's very bumpy. I can see why they said it was about rallies more than it was road racing. Well, are you enjoying this new rally stage that we've found?
I was just saying, it's not exactly the M6 toll, is it? It's very, very bumpy.
Ah! It's so bumpy!
I feel like I should be down here in a Mark II Escort, going absolutely balls to the wall sideways. My Welsh or Scottish co-drivers going, and it's to left, don't cut, water hazard, then it's long 6, left to right, over crest, hazard, mind the house and the sheep.
This is becoming less of a joyride and more of a trial because I am feeling my wheel slipping under me a little bit and don't really want to slip back into Will.
Soon enough, we reached the end of the slippery, bumpy toll road. Luckily, we'd heard about another one nearby that was meant to be much smoother, so of course, we had to check it out.
But unfortunately, just as we were about to arrive, my car started making a horrible noise, which sounded like one of the car's new dampers had collapsed.
Well, we might have had one too many bumps. There's a smell and a noise.
After checking each strut and making sure that nothing had obviously failed, we looked under the car and were relieved to find the reason for our horrible noise.
Crisis potentially averted. I think we've just picked up a big old twig under there. Look at that. That was quite scary. We were just driving it and started going... Away with you, foul beast.
With that moment of fear avoided, we got back on the road, soon arriving at the second toll road.
Oh, here we go. Here's the second toll booth.
Please leave toll money in box.
£3 for this one.
That's what I was going to say, I've only got £2.
I've got £10. They're going to get a tip. If this was big toll road, I'd be okay with skimping on it. But it's just a lovely little local toll road.
Well, it is a manor estate though, so they probably
That's true, they're probably fine without it. Right, give me my £10 back. Here we go. Now this one, I know, is paved and also should be quite fun.
There's a very twisty bit coming up.
Oh, hairpin. This is cool. Go on, Will. Good stuff. Yes! This toll road has speed limits, so you got to be sensible. But luckily, it's Monday at about 7 PM, so there's not really anyone on it. This feels Japanese as heck. I'm following a 350Z with autumn leaves flying out from behind it.
This is much better. I just wish I could see.
We are in England on any day other than August the 4th, so therefore it is raining.
This looks mental. I'm in the Shire. I had no idea a road like this even existed, and yet here we are.
If anybody wants to go on this, it is Porlock Hill Toll Road, and the one we went on before was Worthy Toll Road, and I can tell you for free it is not worthy. I'm happy with that. I've always wanted to go on that road, and now we've done it. Let's turn in for an early night, hit the roads again in the morning. You can win the Boxster for less than 20p.
That is right, we have collaborated again with LLF Games to give away one of our cars, and I think this might be our best one yet. If you get in there early, you can get a ticket for just 15p, and the tickets are only ever going to go up to 19p.
You can buy one ticket, you can buy 1,000, you can buy none. We really don't mind. If the car sells just one ticket, it will go to whoever wins it, and we hope that one of you guys watching it right now wins it.
So make sure to get your ticket, you check out the link in the description, and we are off to Dartmoor.
Good morning and welcome to Dartmoor National Park. One of the best roads that I've ever driven in my life is about 15 to 20 minutes away. But even now, looking ahead, just at the beginning, look at those roads snaking up there. It was supposed to snow today, but it's all looking fine. It's a clear sky, and we're gonna enjoy the last part of our road trip on some of the best roads England has to offer.
You sort of drove through a little bit of this last night, but in the dark, so I don't know what any of it looks like. But now in the day, even with the weather like this looks good. I think we make the most of it.
I paid £3.5 grand for this car, and Will paid £3,200 for that Nissan 350. We did get lucky, of course we did, but that doesn't mean deals like this aren't out there to be had. Buy one of these when they're at their cheapest through late autumn and winter, enjoy the hell out of it, and then sell it in the summer and make some profit. If you can, it's not a bad way to enjoy a car.
So we enjoyed our 2 budget sports cars across these stunning Dartmoor roads, loving every second of it.
That was a good road.
But you think this is better than what I'm in on these roads?
Before this trip I wouldn't have, but now I do. I believe this is actually better.
Well, how about for this next bit of road, which is also quite good by the looks of it, maybe we swap cars?
Okay, well, there you go, sir. Right, now I have a bit of a confession to make. I drove this car back after it had its engine mapping done, and it drives so much better. From what this car started as to what it is now, this is a really good car.
I have a loathing for convertibles. I have a deep hatred for anything where the roof can go down. I'm gonna admit one thing, in this scenario, this is all right. I've got a heater that's very powerful. I've got thousands and millions and squillions of miles of headroom, and also I can hear that exhaust note. And again, I'm going to admit, that does sound very good.
I mean, I'm not going to tell Will this, but this car is so much quicker than the Boxster in every way. The amount of power is perfect for these roads. You wouldn't want anything more.
I'll admit I've never ever been a big fan of this generation of Porsche in general, but I can see why someone would argue this car's corner.
What a car!
After taking in the incredible scenery and enjoying each other's cars on the great roads, we pulled into a local pub for some lunch and a chat.
Thoughts?
I think that might be the best value you can probably get.
I don't like convertibles, I said this in the car, but because you've got the engine and the noise right behind you there with the roof down, it kind of makes sense. I can kind of hear the convertible thing. We're like roughly in for what, £5 grand for both cars?
Basically £5 grand all in for a sorted, well-driving, well-running, nice car with history is crazy. Should we go in, have a bite to eat, and then finish out our road trip back in our cars?
Over lunch, the debate continued about which car was truly the best, but with both being so good in their own ways, we just couldn't reach an agreement. So we headed back out in our own cars for one last blast on the Dartmoor roads. So we've just had lunch, more arguing about which car we think is best. I still think it's my car. This is just cool, it's just better. And it has an actual roof.
Coming into this series, I was a little bit apprehensive to take a Boxster because I've never been a fan of them. But this car is truly a really good one. So I hope whoever gets this car enjoys it as much as we have, because it has been fantastic on this trip. If I put £3.5 grand back in your bank account, would you go for a different car?
I would have this car every day of the week.
Agreed. And as someone who was looking for other cars in this budget and kind of settled on this Boxster, I now would absolutely go out and buy this exact Boxster again, because it is good. This is a really good car.
Ooh. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe. If you want to go back to the beginning and see where we bought these cars, you can watch that here, and we will see you next week.